Hi guys, good news. I had a baby. This is Phoenix. She's cute. Today I'm going to tell you the story of my pregnancy and birth. I have a lot of things to get through, so I'm gonna get straight into it. I have everything written on my phone, and as you can see, there is a lot. Okay, so I'm starting with, I didn't know I was pregnant until 12 weeks. Mum kinda had a suspicion, so she made me take a test. And yeah. If I never took a test, I wouldn't have known I was pregnant until 18 to 20 weeks. The weird thing about my pregnancy is that I had absolutely no morning sickness, no cravings. I didn't have a bump until about 20 weeks. I wasn't having to go to the toilet all the time. I had no mood swings. I was never tired, and I wasn't in pain at all. So that's it for the pregnancy side. It was very short, but there's more to go through on the birth side. I was due to have Phoenix on the 23rd of February. I was a week overdue, exactly a week. Now here is where everything just gets really confusing it got really confusing for me. So I went to the hospital on the 29th of Feb, which was a leap day. So Alex and I really didn't want to have her on that day. So we went to the hospital for an appointment. We had to check Phoenix's heart rate, just to see if everything was okay. And it was also an appointment to do some things to help me go into labor faster. I was hooked up to this machine that monitored her heart rate, and her heart rate kept going down, so she had to be closely monitored by the nurses. And then we were told she kept getting tangled up with her umbilical cord. So then I had an ultrasound after I got told that, to see how much fluid or something was around her, which there wasn't much, so that wasn't a good sign. I was told I was being induced the next morning, so if you don't know what that means, it means that I'll be forced into labor. So I had to stay in hospital overnight. That night I wanted to get some sleep, but I was still hooked up to a machine, so every time her heart rate went down because she was tangled up in her cord, the machine would beep really loudly, and it would keep beeping because like 1 minute she was fine, she was not tangled up, and then something would happen and then her heart rate would go down, so the machine would keep going off. And then I had to wait for the nurses to come in and turn it off, which sometimes they wouldn't even come in for like 5 minutes. So I did not sleep that night. So in the morning, I had to get some things put in me to help speed up labor. So I think they were the things to induce me. But her heart rate kept dropping, and they didn't like the look of that, so I was told that they were organizing a cesarean for me. So a few hours later, I was well into labor, so they decided to cancel the cesarean, and they told me I would definitely be having a natural birth. They said definitely. I couldn't take the pain of my contractions because they were really close, so I had a needle put in my back to numb the bottom half of my body, so I took the easy way out. Since my contractions were really close, it took a while for them to put the needle in my back because my body had to be really relaxed. Like I had to relax my shoulders and all that, but I kept having contractions right before they were doing it, so they had to wait for it to be over. But then when they went to do it again, another one would start, so it took a while for them to do it. I finally got the injection, and it took about 10 minutes to kick in. It's hard to explain, I don't even remember. I had to press a button or something, and it would keep giving me pain relief. Every time I would feel pain, I'd press the button, and I wouldn't feel pain anymore. About 20 minutes later, I was told that they couldn't wait any longer because Phoenix's heart rate was still not looking good. So they told me that I had to go in for an emergency cesarean because it wasn't safe. So I went to the theatre, Alex came with me, and they gave me a much stronger pain relief so I wouldn't feel them cutting my belly open. I was put on the surgery table and then they hung this sheet up so I couldn't see what was going on. And then they started pulling and cutting and everything. I could feel them pulling, which was really uncomfortable. And within 3 minutes, I could hear Phoenix coughing. So that was the quickest birth I'd ever think I would have. While I was being stitched up, Phoenix was getting cleaned and checked and all that kind of stuff. Alex got to see her straight away. And then after that time, I got to see her for about 5 minutes. And then I was moved to the recovery room. I spent about 30 minutes in there, and for about 20 minutes I couldn't hold Phoenix because I was so weak. I could barely lift my head. I felt like I was gonna throw up, so I was just laying in bed watching Alex hold her. We then moved to the room where I would be staying for the next few days. I had to stay in hospital for 4 days, I think. When we got to the room, we met one of the midwives that were taking care of me for the first few hours, and she told me that when they were cutting me open, they tore my uterus or something. So now I'm most likely unable to ever have a natural birth. So thanks! And I lost 500 ml of blood. I'm gonna go get something that is 500 ml to show you how much that is. Okay, so here is my 1 liter water bottle. So just look at this. That is about 500 ml. So I lost that much blood. So now I have to be on tablets to get my blood level back up or something. Anyway, I think I've covered everything. My camera's going flat. If you are curious about anything, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye. One more? Thanks.